we've already signed our book up on BookFunnel, so it's already available there. But then you need to set up a landing page so that it's going to collect email addresses. And then you can join promotions, which are groups of authors who all promote to each other's lists. It's a little bit like a newsletter swap on steroids. Again, though, there's upsides and downsides to everything. It's usually free, except for your time. And you get a good number of contacts. And if you've chosen the correct promotion, they're quite targeted. But again, the people who run some of these promos worry about your existing newsletter numbers, your sharing reputation, that you've got a certain number of sharing reputation before you join their promos. And sometimes the promos you're looking for just doesn't exist. And then sometimes good tight targeting can be difficult. Now, just going back, what I mean by sharing reputation, on BookFunnel, you get a score that scores how effective you are in sharing promotions. And you can only get this score by being involved in promotions. But then some of the promotions won't let you in until you have a score. So it's another one of those catch-22s, but you can usually find promos that you can get into no matter what your sharing score is. But the better ones, the more targeted ones, tend to require a sharing reputation. Okay, promotions. So I thought what we would do is just poddle on over to BookFunnel. I'm going to do this live and I'm going to look for a promo that I can go in with my paranormal vampire book. I don't have a paranormal vampire book just for the moment. It's just a test. It has a sultry heat level, so it fade to black sex scenes. And of course, then our target is going to be paranormal romance readers. So let's potter back over to BookFunnel and see what we can see there. So stopping sharing that. Starting sharing that one. All righty. So here we are again. I'm just going to go into promotions down here on the left. And you get a whole pile of different things in different genres. Now we're going to go straight for romance. The first thing I do when I get here is change that 10 to all. So I can just scroll up and down these lists rather than having to just go through 10 at a time. The next thing that you can do is using these toggles here, the up and down arrows on the sides, you can put things in order. So I want subgenre in order because I want to find specifically paranormal newsletter promotions. So you see you've got sales type and newsletter type. You've got Amazon type. Sometimes they are the other stores. Pretty sure there's some B&N ones in here somewhere. And they are just starting to get into audiobooks as well, but they're still under a sales target. So we're looking for newsletters that are going to accept my Paranormal Vampires book when I have no sharing reputation yet. So if we start having a look through, we might find Christmas sexy romance, maybe. It's not very nicely targeted. But here's some more newsletter ones. Christmas romance freebies. Weekend sales, holiday advent. Let's keep going. Newsletter, happy ever after romance newsletter builder. Well, that might be nice. Let's have a look at that one. 20 have been filled. You must have a sharing reputation of 30 plus. So we can't go into that one. So we go back. what I should have done is gone, instead of going into these all ones, go down the list until I find the specifically paranormal fantasy ones, which is there's a whole pile of them. And then if you go down even further, there's specifically paranormal, not fantasy. Happy Fangsgiving. That's pretty vampire-y. That sounds like it might be a good one. 2 books per pen. If you've completed 10 plus promos, you need a share rep of 50. I don't accept authors with completed promos, but 0 shares posted. So basically they will let you in if you're, if you have no score, but not if you have no score, but you've been in some promotions. And the reason for that is because you haven't pulled your weight with those promotions. You haven't brought anyone else in and you haven't tried to. All of these have a link specific to you that then shows them how many people you've brought into the promo. So, I mean, that might be a good one to join. So you can either join from there, up here at the top, I want to join this promo, or down here, join promo. But before you can do that, you do have to set up your landing page, which we will do later. So look, we've found one that we can do. If we went through all of the paranormal and fantasy ones through here, we would find more. Shifters, dragons, fae and fairies. There's a vampire one, fantasy and paranormal. So they're there. Unearthly romance, they're there. You've just got to look for them. All right, so I'm just going to come back to the PowerPoint presentation again. And I'm going to get my notes up again. There we go. All right, so they're findable. You've just got to take a bit of time in the finding. Where's my chat window? Somebody sent through something on the chat window and I can't see the chat window. That's odd. Oh, there it is. So how do you pull your weight in those? You have to start at the beginning. You have to start, well, what happens is you share across your existing newsletter and also your Facebook or your Twitter or your Insta or whatever else you have. And it's just a matter of posting a picture and saying, I'm in this thing, go have a look at it, and giving your particular link. And I don't do a whole lot of work with it, but when I do one on my 1,200 person list, I get about 80 odd people who go have a look at them, because they're always, people are always on the lookout for a bargain. A lot of these are 99 cents. If you're using your reader magnets, some of them are full on freebies, so they're getting all different free things. But by posting it to your newsletter list and also your Facebook or your other social media sites, your numbers come up fairly easily. So don't panic about that. You can actually get your numbers up relatively easily. All right. So the last strategy that we're going to look at is competitions. And this one's going to give you the greatest number of non-organic subscribers that you can get at one time. And what it is you pay to be part of a competition where the winner receives usually a Kindle or something like that, and a copy of all the books that are in the promotion. And the second place gets all of the books, but not the Kindle. The pros are the big numbers, big numbers, and that the organisers make it really, really easy to, well, do everything. Upload to your mail service, they make it easy to promote it, they make it easy to do everything around it. The downside is the cost. It's about $50 to enter a book sweeps competition. No, you're not entering the competition. It's about $50 to sign up to be part of the competition. And you have to provide, obviously, 2 free copies of your book to the winners. There are a few different companies that do the competitions. by far the biggest one is BookSweeps. LitRing is another one who does a few, but they're a bit smaller. And if you were really enthusiastic and wanted to do your own, you could use the Rafflecopter site. That's what we're using on International Volunteers Day at RWA. So if you want to see Rafflecopter in action, hop onto RWA's Facebook page on Saturday, the 5th of December, and you'll see how that all works. So the way I used BookSweeps was to do it early on. When in my building, I used it to get a boost to my numbers, because then I had enough numbers to join other things. It has changed a little bit since I did the builds. They never had share reputations when I was doing this earlier on, but so long as your numbers on your list are a couple of hundred, you will get the work through on BookFunnel, so you won't, run into trouble there. So once my list got up to, 1,000 odd, I could go back and join the better newsletter swaps and the better promotions. Once my list got to about 3,000, I started culling anyone who hadn't engaged. And the way I did that was to set up just an automated sequence to ask them if they still wanted to be involved. But that is beyond the scope of this course, and that falls into the second life of your newsletter. So what we're going to do is just pop over to BookSweeps again. I'm sorry, no, we're going to pop over to BookSweeps, not again. And I'll show you what they actually look like. Over here. All right. So this is the signed in page for authors with BookSweeps. And you might choose join a promo. At the moment, all of their promos are sold out, and they sold out very, very swiftly. It's such a good building tool. They sell out very quickly. So I would suggest, if you in fact want to get on one of these, that you sign up to BookSweeps lists, and as soon as they say that they're coming out, you get in there and you do it. So you can see you've got, these ones are going to build your author email list. This one's going to grow your BookBub following, and that one's an author list, and they're different genres as well. So we might look in here at romantic women's fiction, even though we can't go into it, but we can at least see what it's all about. It had a deadline of 23rd of November, but that was sold out probably a month earlier than that. It starts on the 30th, ends on the 9th. There's 2 winners. The grand prize is an e-reader and the books, and the runner-up is that. So to participate, they always put this preamble bit on, so you can ignore that. To participate, you just need to fit the genre, offer 2 copies of your book, share the good word, and they make that so easy, and we'll take care of the rest. Sign up today. Yeah, you can't. So these are really, really good for what they say they're going to do, which is get people to your list. When you're early on in your list building, you want those big numbers so that you have the options of going on to the better targeted promos, the better targeted newsletters, and then you can cull off the crappy people who've only gone into this to be in the competition and who don't really care at all. I understand that BookSweeps only give you the names of the people who have specifically said that they would read your book. So I'm pretty sure when you're a competition entrant and you go in, they say, which ones of these books would you like to read? And you actually have to tick off which ones you would like to read, and then those names go onto your list. So it's a little bit targeted, but not really very much at all. Just hopping back over to the presentation again. Okay. So let's go have a look at Booksweeps. Okay.